150.
A plea deal for the school bus driver who struck and killed a 12-year-old boy in November of 2025 in Rockland was made official in court today. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. According to a Rockland Police Department report, Braden Callahan was in a marked crosswalk when he was hit by a bus driven by 65-year-old Jeffrey Colburn. The state formally dismissed the indictment for manslaughter against him today. He instead pleaded guilty to a motor vehicle violation resulting in death, which is a civil infraction. He will lose his license for 4 years and perform 180 hours of community service. He also cannot ever again operate a motor vehicle that requires a commercial driver's license. The prosecutor in the case told the court that Braden Callahan's parents supported the agreement.
But for the record, he's saying that the family of Braden Callahan is in agreement with this result?
They are, Your Honor, and they are aware that they did have an opportunity to appear here today or submit written statements, and they chose not to do that, but they were in support of this.
Well, the family recently spoke out through their attorney and asked for privacy as they continued to mourn Braden's loss. A man is facing charges after he allegedly assaulted an emergency medical services worker. Bangor Police Department spokesperson Katie England says Bangor Police and Rescue were called to Davenport Park for a reported incident a little before 5 p.m. on Monday. While transporting 36-year-old Perry Newell, he allegedly kicked one of the EMS crew members in the head, causing an injury. England says Newell was taken to an area hospital where he was treated and released. According to England, Newell has 17 sets of bail conditions. Police were able to find him today and arrest him. Newell is being charged with assault on an emergency medical services person and violation of conditions of release. In other news, the cyclospora outbreak that causes severe GI upset has been in the news a lot in recent weeks as it continued to spread. Now it is in Maine. Our Callie Warren joins us live to explain. And Callie, what should people know now that it's reached our state?
Well, Beth, by now most of us have heard about cyclospora, and that is tied to the Taylor Farms lettuce recall that has sickened over 6,000 people across the country. And unfortunately, it definitely is here in the state of Maine. That outbreak was initially tied to iceberg lettuce grown in Mexico and sold by Taylor Farms to retailers including Walmart and Taco Bell. As of August 7th, the Maine CDC was reporting an estimated 10 people who were affected by cyclospora due to that recall. As for signs and symptoms folks should watch out for, the most common symptom is diarrhea. The CDC says other gastrointestinal symptoms are common, along with fever, fatigue, and more. Bangor Public Health has also released information on what folks can do to reduce their risks. That includes keeping your hands clean around food, washing your produce, and cooking your fresh vegetables before you consume them. And the CDC is advising anyone who thinks that they may have cyclosporiasis to reach out to their healthcare provider. Definitely not something that you want to find yourself with. Beth, back to you.
Well, thank you, Callie. Despite President Donald Trump's recent executive order on childhood vaccinations, the Maine CDC says they will continue to follow the guidance of the American Academy of Pediatrics and the current schedule. The Maine CDC quoted the Academy, which said pediatricians recommend children receive certain vaccines at specific ages based on when children's immune systems will respond best and when they are most vulnerable to certain diseases. The Maine CDC stressed that vaccines are the most effective defense against vaccine-preventable illnesses and are available at no cost to eligible children through the Maine CDC's immunization program. They said Maine's school and child care immunization requirements remain unchanged by federal actions to date. Well, the USDA's Wildlife Services will be distributing oral rabies vaccine baits for wildlife this week. They will spread nearly 599,000 in northern Maine from August 12th through August 24th. The baits are used to reduce the cases of raccoon rabies and will help limit the potential for human and domestic animal exposure to the rabies virus through contact with infected wild animals. Crews will spread the baits by air in more rural areas and by vehicle in more populated ones. Officials say each bait is a fish meal coated cube or sachet about 1 to 2 inches in size. Although humans and pets can't get rabies from contact with the baits, they should not touch them. Officials say if a dog eats any of them, they could get an upset stomach. You can get more information by calling 1-800-821-5821. With communities across the state working to find unique ways to address the state's housing crisis, Fairfield town leaders are backing a project that aims to convert a vacant school into affordable housing for seniors. Our Grace Blanchard has those details.
This abandoned school could soon be the key to addressing affordable housing needs in Fairfield.
It's going to include historic preservation, renovating the building itself, keeping the facade looking very similar.
The Kennebec Valley Community Action Program aims to transform the former Fairfield Primary School into 30 units of senior housing.
Reusing an old building like this is actually very useful for the town. It's very useful for a housing project.
The town council recently approved a tax increment financing agreement with the organization to help support the over $10 million project.
The tax incremental financing means we pay the full tax bill to the town. They return some of it to help us with the operations of the building over the next 30 years.
Officials say the tax deal benefits the town because the property was off the tax rolls. They also hope the project boosts the local economy.
Well, it'll bring in more people to our town. It brings in some much needed housing especially for senior residents, and they'll shop and do all their activities right in our hometown.
Pending the approval of state funding, Pelton said the organization aims to have people moved in 2028.
We've done it before. We know it. We know we can do it. And we expect to be successful here too.
In Fairfield, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Bangor International Airport is getting a major financial boost. According to a statement, more than $5.5 million from the Federal Aviation Administration will help reconstruct part of a taxiway pavement that has reached the end of its useful life. BIA Director Jose Saavedra says, quote, "This project will help ensure the airfield continues to safely and efficiently support commercial cargo and military and general aviation operations for years to come." Meanwhile, crews have been working to clean up a train derailment in Orono that happened over the weekend. It occurred Saturday on the railroad track between the Penobscot Valley Golf Course and the river. According to the Orono Fire Department, the train included 32 cars, 13 of them derailed. GSX, which owns the train, says all of the cars were put back on the track around 11:30 last night. They say they completed the final maintenance work today, and they expect to reopen for service a bit later this evening. Over the next 3 weeks, the night sky will be particularly active, from a partial solar eclipse to one of the year's best meteor showers. Our Alex Schley tells us why astronomers say there will be plenty of reasons to look up.
You do not hear about so many events happening in a single month.
Wednesday kicks off what astronomers say will be a particularly busy time of celestial activity. Starting Wednesday afternoon, Maine will see a partial solar eclipse.
We're only getting about a quarter obscurity, so it's 23.6% to be exact, and that's going to be at 1:53 p.m. Around that time, that's the maximum partiality we're going to get here.
The eclipse will be much more pronounced in other parts of the world, crossing parts of the Arctic, Greenland, Iceland, Spain, and Portugal.
They do not happen that often. They're very rare occurrences. Even though partial eclipses happen more often than total, for us in Maine, we're not even going to get a partial solar eclipse until 2045. And the next total solar eclipse in Maine is going to be 2079.
And as the moon cycle continues, it will set the stage for another celestial show. The new moon will keep the skies dark, creating ideal conditions for the peak of the Perseids meteor shower.
Tomorrow is the best time this month for night sky viewing, but then just gets better because tomorrow is also the peak for the Perseids meteor shower.
In August, we'll close out with one more celestial event. 5 of our 7 neighboring planets will be visible in the night sky.
So we kind of have like a planetary alignment, but not quite because it's not all the planets in there.
For astronomers, it's a remarkable stretch of activity. And for the rest of us, a reminder that some of the best shows of the summer don't require a ticket. In Bangor, Alex Lai for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
But will Mother Nature cooperate with our viewing efforts? Well, let's get a first check of our forecast and see what's coming, at least for the rest of tonight.
Well, high temperatures for today pretty similar to where we were at yesterday, back in the upper 70s to low 80s. Very similar story once again for tomorrow. Many of us back in those upper 70s to low 80s. Taking a look at radar, we have a couple of showers and thunderstorms making their way through the state. Some of this is Virgo, which means it is falling from the sky but is evaporating before it hits the ground. But we will see those continue until about 11 o'clock tonight, and then we'll clear out with another chance for some stray showers and thunderstorms heading into tomorrow afternoon into the early hours on Thursday morning. For tonight, though, we are looking at clouds clearing, becoming mostly clear with low temperatures back in the low 60s.
And we will be right back with more local news.
I went to work in the woods after high school. The harder we worked, the more that the companies took from us. That's why we organized. We made them listen. People are doing everything they can right and still cannot get ahead. Susan Collins keeps telling us everything is just fine. Who has she served? She has served Donald Trump. She has served the billionaires. She has served herself. We are getting screwed, and I'm running to change that.
Government that works PACs responsible for the content of this ad.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Webb's RV Center has a 4-acre lot with over 75 previously owned campers all on sale, plus another 4 acres of new RVs and motorhomes. Webb's RV will take anything in trade. You can buy a camper anywhere, but be sure to buy your next camper at your local neighbor. A website can't service your RV, but Webb's RV will. And they have the biggest service department in the state of Maine to help you enjoy your RV or motorhome.
So come on down, neighbor. The coffee pot's on and the pencil is sharp.
Cancer affects everyone, but there is hope. Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center's Champion the Cure Challenge. Make a difference for our loved ones facing cancer at Champion the Cure Challenge, where every dollar raised helps patients in our own backyard. Walk, run, or cycle August 15th. Join the motorcycle ride or car show August 16th. Take the challenge to surround family and friends in cancer treatment. Celebrate survivors, remember loved ones we've lost, and lift up our community. Join us. Visit ctcchallenge.org.
In the ICU, I've seen patients being bankrupted by the cost of care, and they're having to travel 3 and 4 hours to receive that care. This didn't just happen. Susan Collins voted to support Donald Trump on the largest Medicaid cut in history. Healthcare is getting even more expensive. People are losing coverage. Labor and delivery centers are closing. Hospitals are closing. We need to tell Susan Collins to stop siding with Donald Trump. We can't afford it.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. A little more than a month ago, a young man from Bangor named Hayden Susi suffered devastating injuries in a horrific car crash. He's on what will be a very long road to recovery, but is already finding strength and gratitude despite what he is facing. Our Sam Miller has his story.
On July 3rd, 2026, 29-year-old Hayden Susi of Bangor nearly lost his life in a devastating car accident. The force of the crash sent him through his windshield and his vehicle airborne. He landed in a ravine and was trapped under his vehicle, which had landed on top of him. He was stuck there for 6 hours.
I tried to army crawl, and there was something underneath me. I like a sign. I think it was a sign. That's all I remember. And I tried to like army crawl off that, and I just kept sliding, and I couldn't move. So I was just down there, you know, pleading for my life, asking for help, screaming as loud as I could.
The accident left him with 2 broken legs, as well as rib fractures, tibial fractures, and a fractured femur. Susi was recently moved to Sebastian Valley Hospital for rehabilitation, where he is taking his process one day at a time. Susi says he's extremely lucky and grateful to be alive, and will be taking full advantage of his new lease on life.
After that crash, you know, I felt something when I was down there that I never felt before. And I think it's a miracle I'm alive, and I'm never going to let go now. I'm never going to let go of that feeling. I'm not.
A GoFundMe has been started for Susi with a goal of raising $5,000 to cover expenses once he comes home. Susi is optimistic about how he's progressing and credits the work of the hospital staff.
They're very helpful. They're always on top of stuff here. And like, personally, dude, like I couldn't have asked for better people to help me. You know what I mean? I wouldn't know who to ask, because these nurses here, they've got it. You know what I mean?
You can donate to Susi through a link on our website at foxbangor.com. In Pittsfield, Sam Miller, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
And folks, we will be right back with sports and your forecast.
If you believe in a campaign that's honest.
Honest. Troy Jackson was accused of mortgage fraud for falsifying documents to get a low-interest loan. Jackson billed taxpayers for massive travel expenses, even though his house was only a few miles from the state capitol. Who approved his taxpayer-funded expenses? He did. And Jackson was known for bullying women. Troy Jackson, falsifying documents, ripping off taxpayers, and a bully we can't trust. Pine Tree Results PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
ABC 7, Fox 22. The place we call home, telling Maine stories wherever you roam. From sunrise shores to forests of pine, hard work, strong hearts, values that shine. From old towns to harbors, back roads to ocean blue. Neighbors helping neighbors in all that we do. Through storms and clear skies, day after day, we're here with the stories that matter in Maine. From mountains to sea, standing strong and true. This is Maine, this is home on ABC 7, Fox 22.
Hey, Maine, think you're wicked smart? Well, put your knowledge to the test with me, Ken Jennings, on Jeopardy! Weeknights at 7:30 on ABC 7.
Welcome back in, folks. Let's start with some big news out of Orono, as yet another member of the Black Bears women's basketball team is heading overseas to play pro ball. 2026 graduate Sarah Talon announced that she will be extending her basketball career to go to the pro level, signing with New Basket Oberhausen in Germany. The team is a part of the country's second biggest women's basketball league and typically plays teams in both North and South Germany. Talon says once she finished up her career at Maine, she knew right away she wasn't ready to give up on basketball.
I knew that wasn't going to be the end for me. I just didn't want basketball to stop. I love it so much, and I just wanted to continue that, and an opportunity arose itself. I had an agent, Mohammed Mehmedi. He helped me a lot in finding teams, and this Germany team showed interest and offered me, and by I think it was June, I had signed with them.
In her senior season at Maine, Talon averaged 8.9 points per game, totaled 57 assists and 41 steals, and scored 17 points in the semifinal versus Binghamton to advance to the conference championship versus Vermont. Talon says the hard work that she put in and the patience is what resulted in her signing to a pro basketball team.
I think I knew I just had to keep working hard and remember I had to be where my feet were. Definitely stay focused on the collegiate career and, you know, helping my team at Maine. I think I just had to remember to stay focused at what I had to do. I wasn't really jumping ahead. I was focusing on what was the task at hand and taking it one day at a time.
Here's a crazy story in the sports card collecting world. A Rhode Island-based online sports card dealer just pulled an extremely valuable Cooper flag card. A YouTube card breaker group called Rhodey Breaks went live on Monday with hundreds of card packs for sale to viewers, and roughly 2.5 hours into opening those packs, they stumbled across a one-of-one Cooper flag rookie debut card featuring the star's autograph and the debut patch from the jersey he wore in his first NBA game. The real card was not pulled. That card stock you see can be traded for the real card through the Topps website. The value of this card is hard to gauge, but the value to the Mavericks is significant. The Mavericks are prepared to offer the holder of this card, this one-of-one card, an absolutely insane trade. In exchange for the card, the Mavericks will give the holder 2 lower-level season tickets for 32 years completely free of charge, a signed game-worn jersey by Cooper Flag, a meet and greet with Flag, a free photo shoot with the Rookie of the Year and Larry O'Brien trophy, and an all-expenses-paid road trip to watch the Mavericks play the Boston Celtics. Absolutely insane. If I got that card, I think I might take that deal. That's all the time we have for sports. Here is your full 5-day forecast.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Patriot General Contractors, your go-to for all your carpentry needs. Whether it's a full remodel or a window replacement, they have you covered. Well, let's take a look at those high temperatures from today. Back in those upper 70s and low to mid 80s. Another very nice day out there and quite similar to where we were at yesterday. If you are a fan of these kinds of temperatures, you're in luck. We'll have another day of them tomorrow before we do have a bit more cooler weather on the way heading into later this week. Average high this time of year is 80 degrees. Tomorrow we're going to be pretty close to where we're at today. Thursday, we're looking at right about average. Friday, slightly below average, and then we hang out about average heading into next week. Now, we've been dealing with a little bit of humidity. It is going to be quite comfortable throughout the rest of the day today into tomorrow. It'll climb a little bit as we do have a couple chances for some showers and thunderstorms making their way through, and then it becomes much more comfortable again heading into this weekend. Now, we've had a little bit of a breeze out there today. We'll continue that tonight, and then our gusts tomorrow are up to 20 to 25 miles per hour once again. Another quite breezy day out there tomorrow before they do look to go calm for a couple of hours on Thursday morning. Now, we do have a couple chances for some showers and thunderstorms to make their way through with drier weather on the way as well. Taking a look at radar right now, a few showers and thunderstorms making their way through. Some of this is virga, which means it is falling as precipitation from the sky, but is evaporating before it hits the ground. However, we will see a chance for showers and thunderstorms continuing. Later tonight, we will see these showers and thunderstorms fizzle out. We'll see clearing skies, and then tomorrow we'll see another slight chance for some afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms making it through, with another chance for showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. For tonight, though, mostly clear skies, a light breeze out there from the west between 5 to 10 miles per hour with lows in the upper 50s. For tomorrow, 81 degrees, another nice day out there. A few showers and thunderstorms possible, especially in those afternoon hours, and winds from the west between 10 to 25 miles per hour. Taking a look at your extended forecast, we got a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Better chance arrives on Thursday. Temperatures right near average. Drier weather is on the way for this weekend. We start off on Friday with mostly sunny skies and temperatures back in the upper 70s. We keep that sunshine around into Saturday with high temperatures back in the low 80s. Some clouds do roll in Saturday night into Sunday, which brings us Sunday with mostly cloudy skies and temperatures right back near 80.
Thank you, Anna. We will be right back.
Ready, set, summer with the Honda Summer Event. From the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
My grandmother was a nurse, and I really enjoy caring for people. Once I found out about the community college and what they offer, I felt that that was a sign. I'm able to become an RN in 2 years and receive a great education, a very hands-on education. Now that I am a nurse, I cannot picture myself doing anything else. I mean, the opportunities are endless. The world is your oyster as a nurse.
This is the furniture you've waited 250 years for. Genuine leather seats, lift top storage, pop-up sleeper.
Because nothing's more American than a sofa that's also a bed.
Oh, my Bob! Bob's Discount Furniture.
Situated in Jonesboro on the coast of Maine lies Barren View Golf Course, a true links course that's a treat for golfers of all skill levels. We feature a driving range, putting green, practice sand trap, pro shop, and snack bar. Open 7 days a week. Please call ahead for a tee time.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, is brought to you by Hometown Health Services. Visit their new, exciting community health center in Palmyra for appointments, also in Dexter and Newport. Recharge Bangor, a whole-body recharging studio and wellness center, offering science-backed therapies dedicated to your total health and wellness. Top-notch detailing in Herman. Give me a call today to schedule your appointment at 232-2933.
I was a teacher in Aroostook County for 40-plus years, and I loved it.
But federal law prevented retired Maine teachers, law enforcement, and firefighters from receiving the full Social Security benefits they earned. Susan Collins fought for them and passed the Social Security Fairness Act.
My retirement almost tripled. What she did benefited over 25,000 Maine retirees. Thank you, Susan.
I'm Susan Collins, and I've approved this message.
Ready, set, summer with the Honda Summer Event from the 2026 Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Hurry into your local Honda dealer while the offers last.
An Ohio woman who is legally blind is traveling across the nation's parks with her best friend, her guide dog. Our Calvin White reports.
Jackie Sheeman is on a mission to visit all the national parks. On Tuesday, she made it to Acadia National Park, something she never dreamed of doing just a few years ago. Right beside her every step of the way is her guide dog Tyrus. Sheeman is legally blind as she was born with achromatopsia, a rare eye condition leaving her unable to see any color, with no depth perception, and suffering from day blindness.
When it's bright and sunny, I see shadows. I don't see much of anything. I wouldn't recognize my own mom about 10 feet away from me.
Sheeman says that before Tyrus, she was focused on steps and curbs.
I mean, I literally spent my whole life staring down at my feet. And with Tyrus now, I can hold my head up high and take in the world as much as I can see of it.
She got Tyrus in 2023 after applying to Dogs Inc. She says he came to her at the perfect time.
Honestly, it was the best experience of my life, getting him. Happiest day of my life. It was over my birthday that I was able to get him. So it was the best birthday present I ever could have asked for.
Since she has had Tyrus, they visited 8 national parks, and Sheeman says he has allowed her to experience nature freely.
It's beautiful out here. And we are actually doing the sunrise tomorrow at Cadillac Mountain, so I'm super excited about that. Because I don't see the color really, but during sunrise and sunset, I can tell that it's kind of reddish orange, and to me, that's just beautiful.
Sheeman, who is finally getting to live her dream of traveling, says that she is proof that there are no boundaries to what people can do.
Find a way to live your dream and live your life before your life is over, because we only get one life.
In Acadia, Calvin White, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
An important message there. Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it for us. From everyone here at ABC 7 News, take care and have a great rest of your night. And for more, join us over on Fox 22 News tonight at 6:30.
Tonight, the deadly earthquake in Colombia, the search for...
Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
He basically approached us all nasty cussing, and
I never got aggressive with them. And during the process,
I had to call police.
She told me to go back where I come from, and then she went across the street and called the police on me.
Because he was getting very aggressive and very violent.
I never cussed at him. I never said anything out of the way for her because it wasn't that type of situation.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go around the neighborhood and let everybody know before I do fireworks.
I'm glad I'm getting my car fixed, and thank Judge Judy for being so kind.
So I'm gonna let everybody know I'm still gonna do it every year.
This is Fox 22 News Tonight.
A plea deal for the school bus driver who struck and killed a 12-year-old boy in November of 2025 was made official in court today. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. According to a Rockland Police Department report, Braden Callahan was in a marked crosswalk when he was hit by the bus 65-year-old Jeffrey Colburn was driving. The state formally dismissed the indictment for manslaughter for Colburn. He instead will plead guilty to a motor vehicle violation resulting in death, which is a civil infraction. He will lose his license for 4 years and perform 180 hours of community service. He also cannot ever again operate a motor vehicle that requires a commercial driver's license. The prosecutor in the case told the court that Braden Callahan's parents supported the agreement.
The record is saying that the family